I bet you didn't know the secrets a single letter can hold. Elizabeth stared at her computer screen, brow furrowed, pulse quickening. An email, stark and white, sat in her inbox. No subject, no sender, just a single character. Curiosity warred with apprehension. What did it mean? Why was it sent to her? Her finger hovered over the mouse, trembling slightly. A deep breath. Click. The email opened. No message body, no attachments. Just the solitary Arabic letter, stark against the white background, larger now, demanding attention. Elizabeth felt a chill. This was no random spam. This felt deliberate, targeted. She leaned back, swiveling in her chair. Her gaze fell upon a framed photo on her desk, a much younger Elizabeth, beaming, standing next to her grandfather, a renowned linguist. He had always said, "Language, my dear, is the key to unlocking the world's greatest mysteries." Elizabeth's mind raced. Was this some cryptic message? A code to crack? Her grandfather had instilled in her a love for languages, for deciphering their hidden meanings. But this was different. This felt dangerous. The Arabic script seemed to pulsate on the screen, a silent siren song drawing her in. Her gut screamed at her, to hit delete, to forget she ever saw this email. But a stronger force, the allure of the unknown, held her captive. Elizabeth knew, with unsettling certainty, that her life had just taken a sharp turn. This single, enigmatic letter was a gateway, and she, whether by choice or by fate, was about to step through. Professor David Cohen, Elizabeth's old cryptography professor, squinted at the email projected on the whiteboard. "Arabic, you say?" he muttered, stroking his salt and pepper beard. Elizabeth, perched anxiously on the edge of her seat, nodded. "And you have no idea who sent it?" Another shake of the head. The professor's eyes, magnified by thick glasses, scanned the single character again. "It's definitely unusual," he admitted, "but it could be a prank, a random string of code." Elizabeth, however, wasn't convinced. "It just feels targeted," she insisted, relaying the unsettling effect the email had on her. The professor, a lifetime spent deciphering codes, understood the weight of intuition. Well, he conceded, it wouldn't hurt to investigate. He pushed his glasses up his nose and turned back to the whiteboard. "This particular letter," he began, tapping the character with his marker, "is the first letter in the Arabic alphabet, alif. It often signifies beginnings," he continued, pacing slowly in front of the board, "but it can also represent unity, singularity." He paused, deep in thought. "In some ancient texts," he said, his voice dropping to a whisper, "it's believed to symbolize the divine, the source of all creation." Elizabeth's pulse quickened again. The professor's words, spoken with such gravity, lent further credence to her growing unease. This was no ordinary character. It held weight, meaning, and potentially, danger. "I'll need some time to research," the professor declared, turning to face Elizabeth, his face etched with a mixture of concern and academic curiosity. "See if you can recall anything, anyone who might send something like this." Elizabeth nodded, her mind already racing back through her memories, searching for any connection to the Arabic language, to this mysterious letter. As she left the professor's office, the weight of the unknown pressed down on her. The hunt for answers had begun, and with it, the realization that she was stepping into a world far more complex and potentially perilous than she could have ever imagined. Back in her apartment, the silence felt deafening. Elizabeth paced the length of her living room, phone clutched in her hand. The professor's words echoed in her mind. Beginnings, unity, the divine. What did it all mean? She had spent the last few hours scouring her grandfather's old journals, searching for any mention of the letter or anything remotely related to it. So far, nothing. Frustration gnawed at her. She felt like she was fumbling in the dark, grasping at shadows. Suddenly a name flashed across her mind. Dr. Yasmin Khan, a renowned expert in ancient Arabic linguistics. Her grandfather had often spoken of Dr. Khan's work, praising her brilliance and dedication to preserving lost languages. Elizabeth had met her briefly at a conference years ago, but they hadn't stayed in touch. Still, she was a long shot worth taking. With renewed determination, Elizabeth navigated to Dr. Khan's university webpage. There, amidst a list of publications and awards, was a contact email. Without hesitation, Elizabeth typed out a message, briefly explaining her situation and attaching a screenshot of the cryptic email. Hitting send, she leaned back, a wave of exhaustion washing over her. The clock on her microwave mocked her with its bright green digits. 2:17 a.m. Sleep was a distant possibility. Not with this mystery hanging over her head. The rhythmic tapping of her fingers against the kitchen counter punctuated the silence, a steady beat to the anxious symphony playing out in her mind. Just as she was about to give in to the lure of caffeine, a soft ping from her laptop startled her. An email from Dr. Cohen. Eagerly, Elizabeth clicked it open. The words, written in a precise, elegant font, sent a fresh wave of chills down her spine. Miss Sinclair, I believe you may have stumbled upon something extraordinary and potentially dangerous. I suggest you meet me at your earliest convenience. Time is of the essence.